I'm gonna ask you to hit me with a little bit of hope here. What's the win con for Ghost Gaming?
It's gonna be tough to create a case for Ghost Gaming here. I guess the bright side is you do get to start on the attacking side. You could kind of set a tempo of your own, whatever that is. If you want to start off slow and work the map a little bit, kind of find out where Starbound is playing, you have the opportunity to do so. Or if you just want to full send it, you can. But honestly, WADA's defense on this map is really strong. I mean, they're willing to push all the way through A lot of the times. Power does a great job of anchoring the C side. You don't really see Astra as often anymore in this meta, but the composition is really oppressive. And then also you see a lot of two-pronged attacks on the defensive side with Femboy and Starbound combined. So there's a lot of threat here for the defensive side, and I think Ghosts need to kind of maneuver around it.
Turning your attention towards B, the wall will segment them off. It's just one who got through. That is Biffy. And so the awkward stall out happens. They wait for the wall to go down, and then they continue to push forward, this time with the paranoia and a decay, heading towards C. Juna, the only one back in garage, somehow staying alive long enough for Power to show up and strike a little bit more damage.
Power just needs to play time here because there's that push out through A that I was talking about. Look at the aggressiveness of Ghost. Just running it down all the way into CT, or all the way into defender spawn.
Here.
Starbound needs to kind of pedal to the gas right now and run all the way up and match up with the rest of their team.
One enemy remaining.
Astralis trying to clear back sight. Biffy falls. Katara's left in a 1v3. And that's another pistol going the way of WADA. A great start for them.
Yeah, a great start, and this is exactly what you want for WADA. You want to win these pistol rounds. It's something that was, kind of lacking yesterday. But I do have to say, I feel like Ghost make some really good decisions, like in the post plant, like pushing spawn there against Power, just sheer overwhelming force. They just seem to not be able to close out the rounds when they do look like they have the advantage there.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just a part of, especially in pistol rounds, like some of that mechanical skill just not really being able to shine through. Maybe this BO5 and everything, the entire situation given, like just a little bit of nerves on the side of Ghost Gaming. Because when we had the privilege of casting them, against that Prosperity team in the beginning, Swiss stage?
Yeah.
A big part of their success was, let's just play our game. Let's run it down. Let's not show respect to their team.
Well, they also had Vanitas, who was, going absolutely insane. So, that is sorely missing here as Ghosts are kind of crumbling in this anti-eco. Which, again, is to be expected.
Yeah.
Given that there's no gun on the other side. Aerial left in a 1v5. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a tough spot for a Ghost to be in. But the truth is, it's something that they have to figure out. A flawless round comes through for WADA. You take a look at what their bonus will be in the next round. It's an Outlaw, a Guardian, 2 Spectres, and then what? They could choose to invest a little, but they're opting against it. So, not the strongest bonus buy in the world.
Yeah. The good thing for Ghost Gaming into this round is the fact that I think every single member will have full armor. So that Outlaw shouldn't be able to get like immense value. Obviously, Starbound is on a heater right now. So, they might still just hit some headshots with it, but there's a lot of things to kind of thwart that from being the case. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but it's been a heavy B presence on a lot of these rounds so far from Ghost Gaming. This is
like the pistol,
Yeah, this is a game plan, a clear game plan from Ghost.
Yeah,
but they're stuck behind this vice wall,
much like they were on the pistol. And then they tried speeding up. Remember, they went towards C-Link. This time, they are digging their heels in, and they're choosing to stick with the control on B. The fight and the extremity goes the way of Femboy, and that's a big one for them to be losing, man.
Yeah, and now it kind of makes you feel like you have to force the issue, and that's why Biffy pushes Starbound.
Juna falls. Okay, Ghost with some legs here. 2v4. It's a Spectre and a Ghost. Surely they convert this. As Power Pixel upgrades to a Guardian. But time is short, too. I don't know how this one gets converted. Even if you get the kills you need, you'd be racing the clock, and that's a cruel race to make. Ghost on the board early here.
That was pretty clean, too. So now, with this front B being abused, by Ghost Gaming, you would imagine that WADA are going to try to adapt quickly here. I think that's why you see a chamber trip here as well. Maybe some double sentinel utility. And, you know, you're just not used to playing against a chamber on a map like Haven. I mean, most of these maps, right? So it actually will be chamber set up towards C with that operator buy. And I think Ghost Gaming have a lot of good things they can do to kind of make this op not get value. You have a deep C-long smoke now. If he's grabbing the orb, it allows you to get that ISO ultimate online. Now for WADA, you kind of need to have people play in front of your chamber, because if the chamber's the one that gets stuck into that ISO ultimate, only having an operator is tough.
Yeah.
It's you and me.
Who got tagged? It was Power who got pulled in, I believe. Power waiting on the other side. Meanwhile, Starbound gets a kill onto Bunny B as well. Succeeding on both sides. Incapable of doing wrong, or WADA.
WADA also pushed through A, Femboy all the way down into grass. Reposition into window as well. Look at all this pressure on the map that WADA ensue, you know? I mean, solo pushing through A off of those picks at C. They really understand the ebb and flow of the map. So it has to be a B end here again for Ghost. But the problem is they're down 2.
30 seconds left.
It's not even this time. All this
Committing
utility
to this.
makes it obvious. Yep.
Yeah, and now they're committing to getting the spike down on B. You don't have the number. I mean, you were alluding to this earlier, but you don't have the numbers to scale out on this. And so even with you winning out the duel on A Link, you're still down. Okay, you're no longer down in numbers. Now it's a 2v2. Qatar's down to 15 HP.
This is getting silly.
Yes, it is.
A good smoke
Waiting for the
too.
paranoia. Guitarist had it in hand. Now the pump fake. I believe that connected onto both. Guitarist looking across Starbound. Is going to get cleaned up. Power Pixel playing in the smoke. That's one. Still left to find. Is Ariel's dancing around? Maybe you try to get it to half and then you try to take the fight. No, instead, Power Pixel trying to hold it the whole way. Ariel plays that beautifully. We're tied at 2.
Extremely well played from Ghost. That A-Link push was massive, going 2 for 1 there to make it best case scenario for Ghost in the post plant, leaving it to a 2v3. And then you see WADA just kind of crumble, peaking individually after that. I think, I don't know who it was. It was Juna, I believe, who gets picked off first here. Taking that head-to-head. That's kind of where things slip away. And makes the retake even harder, because all of a sudden Starbound has to use an op now. And Kataris on the Omen just closes it out with some really well-placed smokes in the post plant. So Ghost Gaming have some life on this map. Maybe that comfortability of, you know, everybody else playing, you know, a similar comp on your map pick. You just won it yesterday as well. Maybe that's just exactly what Ghost Gaming needs.
Having this eco for WADA will certainly help. And so barring an eco, barring some silly, they should take the lead for the first time all series. Or
down A.
Not close right either.
Oh no.
Last
We
player
settled.
This is not, brother, this is not supposed to be going this way. Kataris is left in 1v4. This was nothing but pistols for WADA. There was no Stinger. There was no Spectre. Kataris still has the chance to pull this off. Grabbing the TP, or grabbing the spike, excuse me, and TPing all the way to the other side of the map.
Yeah, the thing is, WADA are able to upgrade on 2 members. Now, if Kataris can isolate some 1v1s here, which looks like there might be an opportunity to do so, this is doable, Doug. You still have Paranoia online as well. I mean, if you can take out Juna here, which you just got the audio cue, where she's coming from.
Oh. 8 bullets left. 2 targets to find. 1 smoke used. Juna trampling forward. Kataris wins out 1v1 out. 3 on the round. Will need 4 to give Ghost their first lead of the entire series. And no, it is the Thrifty that comes through for WADA. Just pistols against a full gun buy round.
It's all because of the pick of Starbound onto Ariel in grass. Because then it makes the rest of Ghost Gaming, who are all defaulted towards A, feel like, uh-oh, like the map is small all of a sudden. We can't go back. We have to hold W. And that's ultimately the downfall of that round. You get forced to wanting to take these weird fights onto top short, onto long, to compensate for your teammates' mistakes. And although Kataris makes it into a 1v1, Starbound just had a crazy timing running all the way through C long again. It's another front B walk. This is the two-pronged approach that I was talking to you about. Femboy, Starbound, up, down. A site is free, though.
It looks like they're going to find it, too. The clone out. Not even needing to take the TP. You're right. They waltz in for free.
It's taking a little too long to get this plant down, baiting out some of those shock darts. Still a Hunter's Fury to delay even further, though.
And Astralis still has a drone.
Spike planted.
Interesting. Opting to use a Hunter's Fury for Bedlam as they attempt this retake. 2 ults used here. Aerial down to 20 HP. Bunny Bee falls. Ariel's in a decent spot, but that's a lot of contain to have to figure out on the other side. Snappy out from the Cypher, but it's not enough. Power Pixel cleans up the round with 2.
Yeah, completely outgunned and out-ulted. WADA had to invest a lot into this round, though. Your ultimate, the Hunter's Fury, also the Astra Wall. So, honestly, all things considered, it was a scrappy buy from Ghost. I think getting 3 ults out and a spike planet is really good. And now this should give you confidence in the next gun round that maybe you can actually play an A post plant and not have to face, like, you know, a gun disadvantage, ult disadvantage, and probably convert the round. Instead, it's going to be a heavy default towards C, though.
4 members there. You've got Thorn set up, an Astra Star just in case. And Power Pixel will be feeling a lot of this pressure. Starbound's op is in a decent spot to rotate quickly, and you already see Power taking a step back, and you already see the op rotating over. They're ahead of this.
Your ultimate does feed information that is a free site. But look at this spike. God, it's so far away.
And it's not really advancing. Yeah, Miara's going to get the kill with the ult, but for what? You're right.
It is a big pick, though, against the smokes. I guess it doesn't matter because Juna's just swinging Garage alone. Bit of an oversight from Ghost.
Ariel's position is beautiful there to get one. Bunny Bee will pile it on. And so, again, a numbers advantage the way of Ghost. Femboy and Starbound in a 2v4.
Time to jump.
And they convert this. The Paranoia will not connect onto anyone. And if they're going to have a shot at this, they kind of need to speed up. The timing across Garage is brutal. Starbound about to get a shot into the back of the head. That's exactly what Ariel does. Nice flash on the swing. Gets a kill. 2 more to find. And none will be claimed. Ghost gets a 3.
Getting that pick on the power with the Hunter's Fury, although the spike wasn't... I mean, the spike was in no man's land. It actually ends up working to their benefit because not being able to retake with smokes for WADA is extremely difficult. I think that's why you saw Juna kind of just taking solo engagements in Garage. The fact that Ghost Gaming gave up this free kill was kind of a blessing for WADA, but at that point, I mean, that deep lurk from Ariel just got so much value.
Yeah.
Being able to maneuver around 2 sets of Sentinel utility the way that Ariel just did is not an easy thing to do. And I think it's going to be a win condition in future rounds for Ghost. The more confidence that Ariel gets on this map of Haven, the more timings they're able to find. Could pose to be a huge threat against WADA's defense.
Yeah, the game sense really becomes a factor, and you kind of like ascending and reading the map with the third eye. You're absolutely right. Quick spike plant on B. They're all playing back here. Astralis is going to push up just a little bit further. Ariel taking a step back. The Paranoia was used there. Keep a close eye on Garage. They're having to take this fight on 2 fronts, and they're trying to tuck as long as they can. Ghost played that beautifully. The push and pull works in their favor.
Really good awareness. Understanding that WADA have that tendency to like to push through A when there's a lot of pressure being shown B or C. And I gotta say, I think that Biffy has kind of warmed up into this series, getting a second ISO ultimate online. Curious to see what the actual score is of Biffy. I feel like I've been seeing the kill feed just be lighted up. Ghost Gaming have found some life in them. On their map pick of Haven, some comfortability in the mix of things. And this is causing WADA to kind of feel like they're on the back foot for once in the series, right? Taking an early timeout.
Yeah.
It's 4-4. Ghost Gaming are in a really good spot. If I'm them right now, you're winning the mental battle. You have a chance into this thing.
It is their attack side, and yeah, they're up 4. I think, I like to ask you about magic numbers. What is it here for Ghost if they want to get a shot in the second half?
I think 7 is a good spot to be in. I think 7 is you're comfortable. I think that, Haven is a map where it doesn't really tend to lean ever towards one side. But I think given the composition of WADA, that double senti, I think it reigns supreme on the defense. So I think even like 6-6 would be good for Ghost. Like, that's a good spot to be in.
Mm-hmm.
7 is like extremely comfortable, and they're picking the right site right now. If you look at the mini map, unless WADA decided to just full send down mid, and maybe they can do a fast flank. Maybe catch a timing that way.
Ready.
See what the call is here from Ghost. We'll see if they actually decide to hold W all the way through this C site.
It is light here. Once again, it's just power. Just a sheriff. Although we've seen this story before.
It's you and me.
Ult not getting anyone. Yeah, it's going to clear out a lot of this space, but no tag.
Shouldn't be any flood yet, so... Oh no, I was just saying Ghost Gaming should be able to set up, but what a spam kill.
Yeah, and Judah can pop the ult. That's exactly what she does, and now all of a sudden, they're on equal footing. They take a step back, but I believe all of them were hit by the ult. Katara stayed alive, stayed on the other side of it. With the Guardian, gets 1 kill, but now weapons upgraded for WADA. And now they have a shot at this. Body blocking the defuse as best as they can. 1 kill found onto Biffy. It's going to be another Thrifty unless Ariel can 1v4. And that's not going to be the case. Star Round saves the day.
It's all off of that pick from Australis, though. We were talking about the impact in the last map, but on these Thrifty round wins, like when WADA need to dig deep, I feel like it's been Australis on this map who's really like stepped up to the plate. If you remember the first Thrifty, some nice sheriff kills in short A. On the beginning part of this retake, there was a spam onto that that box on flat with a sheriff. I mean, a headshot connecting to trying to just break your way into the C site. All of a sudden, Juna is like, okay, yeah, 4v5, we can do this. Like, numbers are in our advantage. I got my Visol. We can go sheriff-y sheriff.
Yeah, all it takes is 1. And they kick the door open with that. Wadded out with 1 round lead. Starbound with the op not connecting, but Femboy set up on the other side. Beautifully played.
1-2 punch.
And the judge is not going to do it from that distance, man, especially not against Femboy. If there's anybody who I know to have the damage fall-off ratios like to the T, it's Femboy.
100%. Australis now getting some info that there are some members towards this A side of the map, but maybe not aware that Ariel is as close as she is.
Watching here.
Some missed utility, a little bit of visual signs of frustration because of it.
All good.
All right, now it's just very quiet across the board. I mean, look at this timing that Kataris has found deep into spawn.
But my concern is that the spike is rotating out, and so what was the plan? Was Miara going to try to rotate all the way back C while Kataris was pushing spawn to fight?
I think that was going to be the hope, but now you're kind of forced to go back after Kataris isn't able to get that multi-kill, only getting 1.
And now they can turn all their attention back towards A. It's a 4v2, a retake attempt. June's going to get pushed off the initial line, 39 HP. Ariel not much better off. In fact, worse for wear. Gravity well, not connecting. Nice shots out from Miara. That's 2 for Miara. Ariel, though, left alone. When you're that outnumbered, you have to be perfect on every fight. And all it takes is losing 1. And that's exactly what happens for Ghost.
Look doable, but I mean, WADA do a really good job of putting Ghost in really uncomfortable positions because of their like bait and switch setups. I spoke a lot about, you know, the duality of Femboy and Starbound, right, on this map. Like how they like to work places together on the defensive side, and usually it's like a walk down B of Femboy while Starbound is holding window. This time it was a much more passive, like bait and switch setup, and it worked perfectly. I mean, nobody was aware from Ghost Gaming that Femboy was so close. And you were talking about judges. Look at this. Femboy has a judge, of course.
Ah, we're back.
Yep.
Juna turning the flash, taking a step back, not threatened fully. Dude, how does Juna get away with this? How does she get away with this?
She's going for more.
I mean, I would too. Kazar's finally puts her out, but
I know exactly.
it's already massive damage done.
Cypher ult invested for the attackers. We'll be able to get an upgrade on the Phantom, though, for Aerial, and you get the idea that A is free because of that neural theft. Spike will be planted. I mean, maybe you can work something with this. You do have Hunter's Fury online, double shocks. You have the lineups for it, though. Your shocks are not in play anymore. I don't think Hunter's Fury is going to be invested in this round either. So, looks like Ghost are trying to play for the 7-5. See, though.
Tag up on one. Miara down in hell. There it is. We were due for another charge kill. It had been a little bit too long. WADA gets to 7.
It's like the worst person to, I mean, the worst engagement that could be had for Miara, right? Like the Yoru jumping with the judge and you have a sheriff makes it even that much more hard to connect those shots. And another Astro Wall used to kind of isolate that A retake. Juna loves taking a lot of these first engagements, and something that was punishing WADA in the last series against Shopify. But I feel like just having the confidence against Ghost to take those fights, understanding that, okay, I can get away with certain things like this against this team is like put WADA in a good spot in that last round at least.
A good spot in that last round, and assuming things close out the way it seems like they might, a really good spot in this map. They needed to get to 7, and I mean, at this point, they're lucky if they get 5.
So much Sentinel utility here at the C and garage site, but it does get a little dicey.
Yeah, but it's just not enough. It's just not enough. Those fast kills, those like bang bang plays on the site, always seeming like they go the way of WADA. And so when you're in those kind of equal settings, and then you get 2-3 kills that come through in quick succession, it seems like they're regularly going the way of WADA.
I have to point out, I mean, at a certain point, it was 4-4. I think it was a timeout from WADA that kind of just...
I believe so, yeah.
It just changed everything. I thought that Ghost had a really good read on the defense of WADA. But they just weren't able to execute, getting thriftied again right after that Vice ultimate. You can't really close out a half and turn things into your favor when you get thriftied twice. You have to keep that in mind. There was 2 thrifties from WADA on that defensive side. That is just an uphill battle.
Yeah, and again, it's an uphill battle against a team of WADA's caliber.
Yep.
I mean, maybe with a bad team you can get away with that, but WADA's going to punish that every time.
Yep. And something WADA do a really good job of on this map of Haven on their attack side is focusing the Cypher utility, specifically with Sova shots and etc. That's nasty. I mean, that's nasty, right? What do you do about that?
You don't.
Look, this is why you see Sova defaulted towards C, is because it's for dealing with this Cypher utility, which teams love to set up here.
That paranoia, I believe, split the uprights. I think at best it tagged one. Juna was ahead of it. Really nice classic shots out from Guitarist. But Ariel's left on an island on the site, and she's overwhelmed.
Teleport's ready.
This cross has been so good. Let's see if WADA are aware of this flank of Biffy. And looks like
Oh, no.
Nice shot.
Last player standing.
Imagine discipline will be removed in the game for WADA in this post plant. That shield
Absolutely.
being broken as well. It's going to be a 3-person face.
And that's, if memory serves me right, that's every pistol.
WADA have been just on point. Look at Starbound score line again, 16-4. Boy, very close behind. 2 kills of their own.
I would apologize.
And this is what WADA like to do on their defaults. They can set up Starbound to take this A line, go for whatever 1v1 they want, or 1v2, because you kind of have that escape out of jail card with the TP. A nice dodge of the vulnerable as well. Starbound, good awareness of, you know, what could work against them with this composition. And that allows you to find openings like that, right? You dodge that initial vuln.
I do. Yeah. Anyway. Yep. So Bunny B is down off of that. They still have 2 players playing towards A long. Guitarist in mid. And then Aerial hearing every single step, trampling forward. The flash through, they clear Aerial. Fanboy gets a kill. There's a bit of a jump scare situation there too. And this round should go through pretty cleanly.
I feel like Femboy plays a different version of Valorant than like anybody else in the servers that we've seen. Just so many jump kills and, you know, it's like judge abusing. It's so annoying to play against. When you're on the other end of that, it's very, very rough.
Oh, it's miserable. It's got to be miserable.
Yeah. Now, I do want to point out what WADA have shown 2 rounds in a row, back to back. It's been setting up Starbound to get an A pick and then ending C. Now, you know, you imagine WADA are going to be a step ahead. And they're going to read into the fact that Ghost Gaming might try to compensate and stack a little bit more pressure towards A to deny Starbound from getting all that information. Maybe you'll see an Omen smoke into A lobby. You're going to see a Vuln again, maybe with a Paranoia this time to like really secure that line. Or maybe a Yoru running up long. But something needs to be done, because if not, the map will feel very small, and it just feels like your rotations will never get to C on time if you don't have that A line.
And it is a line they have tried fighting for, they've tried holding, they've tried taking, and it just hasn't really gone through.
There needs to be more fight here. Maybe now with stronger weaponry, I feel like they could bully. There's that Omen smoke coming through, and guard ISO and Yoru here. So I think WADA have read into that, and that's why Starbound didn't take such an aggressive fight this time. It'll be a re-clear of the A space instead.
At least an attempt to. I mean, they don't have a ton for re-clear. They have the drone, but I guess that's it for Astralis. And so re-clearing A main, I wonder if they don't even bother. Unless, of course, Starbound can get a pick.
This is a way that you can relieve some of the pressure onto A, though, is taking that garage control. Notice the smoke that blocks off sight. So now, Ghost Gaming are starved for information in garage, and they're kind of forced to have to leave that A line. Look at the minimap right now. You see Bunny B getting all the way off of A line and having to drift backwards. Now, that being said, WADA haven't played into that. So there should be multiple members lean towards C. Or Ghost, I say that, but it's not. The rotations aren't in here.
Aerial's falling, back C. They start to push forward. That's one gun down. Kataris arriving and finding a kill onto Astralis.
Oh,
Traded back though. Juna getting away with one with the thorns again.
that's unlucky.
Yeah, we don't talk about Juna enough, as that's another kill in the feed for the Vice.
Now you have to say,
they're saving.
Ghost Gaming initially had the right idea of what to do. The Yoru getting off of the A line because of how far up Biffy was pushed into short was the correct play. Like, there's no reason not to lean towards B and C, but just I think maybe over analyzing the situation and doubling back into A site made it so the anchor onto C, who was Aerial, I believe.
Yeah,
Aerial just gets completely overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Nice round from WADA. all that garage pressure and then, you know, not getting re-cleared was ultimately the cue to just go for the C-split. It was from 3 different spots. I mean, you were pushed all the way out of garage at some point, too.
Yeah. That's it. I think for as much as we talk about Starbound getting kills, Femboy with the judge, you know, this and the other, but I feel like that round, especially, it is more credit and a testament to the calling of WADA. And it's just been a ton of fun to watch.
And that's why they're the ones that have made Shopify bleed, right? A team that is so strong in macro gameplay. WADA are, like, almost right there, almost on that level, it feels like.
We saw it in the interview. They gave him a run. And again, if this continues the way it certainly looks like it will, they'll get another shot at it. They still have to close out Ghost, a team that has, seemed a little flat today, but it's capable of plenty more. Although, again, as I say that and try to set them up, Juna, once more, becomes a main topic of conversation.
Yeah, Bunny B, usually when you're going for a mid-walk like that, you want to silently get into the window, but it was a bit of a misstep. And audio cues were heard from Juna, and they were just able to shut that push down with ease. And now you get the spike planted. This post plant's going to be so hard to break through. Once the double senti gets onto site, it's just even that much more difficult to break through.
Oh.
One enemy remaining.
Aerial not able to catch a timing there. Gets cleaned up. Kataris with the Sheriff in a 1v5. And so WADA will get to map point on the second map. Okay, good. I always hesitate when I say things like that early on purpose because, well, what if? But either way, yeah. WADA get all the way up to map point on map 2. And then, Dre, as we look forward a little bit, as we have, 20 seconds? Ascent doesn't feel a whole lot better.
No, especially given the way that these last 2 maps have gone. It felt like for a little bit on that first half, Ghost Gaming, we're going to make this a pretty close map. And
it was 4-4.
WADA, after a timeout, just shut that down. I mean, they just said, okay, it's time to start playing the game the way that we know we can. And they're back to their bullying ways. Juna solo swinging window against 2 and confident to do so, taking 2 1v1 engagements, winning both with damage at least.
Yeah, not taking any damage in exchange either. It's not even like she just walked away a little on top. And she gets a kill on a Bunny B.
Yeah, it just feels like it's over.
I know I said this earlier, but I really do want to reiterate it. We've talked a ton about all of the other pieces on WADA, but Juna has been such a treat to watch.
I think the confidence has definitely shown in this matchup. And like I said, like this is a playstyle that Juna like lives or dies by. It is going for a lot of these 1v1s. But I think these are the perfect moments to build up your confidence that you can actually win them. So if you are in a rematch against Shopify Rebellion, you're firing at all cylinders, right? Because it is a part of the playstyle. It is how Juna likes to approach playing this second Sentinel.
Yeah.
Spike down A.
As Juna gets another
30 seconds
2v2 here. Starbound with the op. It is Kataris who's playing down in hell, and Ariel's so far away. Just now arriving to the site.
Spike planted.
Spike's gonna go down. Now Starbound can play this so many different ways, so many different angles. Even that ping pong was beautiful. Yeah, you think you've got Starbound in a decent spot, and then Power Pixel's there to save the day.